Hello and welcome to another edition of TSL Talk. We're at the halfway mark of the season and as usual for our weekly review I'm joined by my colleague Adam Smith. Adam, I suppose probably the biggest story of the weekend was North Hobart going up to test themselves against the undefeated Adelaiders and getting absolutely smashed.
Yeah, look, this was a bit of a surprise. I saw the news last night and saw the result, and I guess I don't know really what to make of North Hobart. You know, they've had big chances against Clarence. They got done there with Clarence, had a heap out. They lost to North Launceston up there as well, and I don't know, they've seemed to the last couple of years have struggled against the real big sides in the big games, and yeah, they're looking down the barrel a bit now.
Yeah, with the huge loss, the drop-in percentage, they've now dropped outside the top five, and the way the roster's done with the northern teams getting to play Devonport and South Lonnie so many times, it's going to be hard for them to get back in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got Lauderdale who are really coming on this year, and you know, they're in the mix as well. And I think, as we talked about, there's going to be probably one side that was going to be unlucky to miss out. And it might be North Hobart. You know, Bernie's now there as well. They're showing some good form, so that's right. North Hobart, they've got their backs against the wall, and I guess we'll find out in the next couple of weeks what they're made of.
I suppose what we can't do is gloss over Launceston though. We all know what a good year Clarence had last year, losing just the one game, but Lonnie so far undefeated, and looking at their run home, they've only really got two more danger games for the season. One's against Burnie away, and the other one's against Glenorchy at home, and given the injuries Glenorchy's got in their form at the moment, you'd have to say Launceston will be red-hot favourites for that one as well.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I think it's just a given they're going to finish on top of the ladder now, aren't they? You know, they'll host the first final up at the Aurora Stadium, which will probably be, you know, a real big advantage for them. But you know, I think the break last week came at a really good time for them. I saw them against Lauderdale a few weeks ago, and they just looked a little bit flat. They had a few injuries, and I think, you know, they've had that week off. They've come out refreshed, and you know, they probably could go through the season undefeated.
And at the bottom of the table, we've seen a change as well, with South Launceston finally getting that first win, and they've jumped from last spot to ninth, replacing Devonport, who they defeated yesterday.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a long year for, has been, and will continue to probably be a couple of long years for both these sides. And you know, it's good to see them get a win. They've, I don't know if they've been thereabouts. I haven't seen them yet this year. But yeah, I don't know really what we can make of that, can we? It's they're probably going to play each other one more time for the year, I would have thought, and whoever wins that will avoid the wooden spoon.
Yeah, it would be nice to see South Lonnie not win their wooden spoon for the third year in a row, just to give them some signs that maybe things are looking up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've had a horror year. Their coach has gone. They've lost their second best player, and then you know who's taken over the coaching duty for the year. So you know, all we want to see, I think, is a bit of, you know, some improvement and some competitiveness. Really, I'm sick of seeing the big blowouts. You know, if they can stay in games for a bit longer, that's all we can really ask for at this stage.
And it looks like Hobart's chances for the finals are over at the halfway mark of the year. They've just got the 2 wins for the season, and were beaten pretty convincingly by North Lonnie on the weekend in the Bombers' first trip south.
Yeah, Hobart are again one of these sides that sort of seem to promise so much, and you see them in games and they give glimpses, and then they sort of fall away. And they probably would have looked at that as a game they probably could have and should have won. You know, they beat North Launceston there last year, I think. Pushed North Hobart before the break, but I guess they just can't really fall over the line when they need to.
It's going to be a big challenge for Glenorchy for the next 3 or 4 weeks. They got beaten pretty comfortably by Clarence on the weekend, but even that probably flattered them a bit when you look at the scoring shots. But I think they're missing about 14 players from their best team at the moment through injuries. If they can get through this next period, probably, you know, a couple of wins, a couple of losses, they might be able to come good in right towards leading into the finals.
Yeah, but their depth's being tested at the moment, and maybe it's not, you know, maybe they don't go as deep as we thought they did at the start of the season, but you know, we've seen with Clarence early on as well, you lose some of your big plays, Jay Bowden, Reece Mott. You know, these guys are pretty important to them, and once they get them back, they'll bounce back.
And now we're turning to this week. There's a real probably potential powder keg game coming up. North Hobart v Lauderdale. They haven't played against each other since round 1. In round 1 there was a huge melee where 5 players were suspended for a total of 14 weeks, and young Nathan McCulloch received a fractured skull. Anything could happen on this game on Saturday.
Yeah, it could, you know. I mean, there's a lot of spite between these two sides in the last couple of years, and you know, anybody who's seen the melee, it was pretty ugly, and you know, the coaches will probably downplay it this week, but I reckon that there will be a little bit in it from at the start, and the umpires will definitely have to be on the ball there.
And you want to hope that the TSL take a really active approach to this game and maybe send along the video just in case it does get out of hand. And they've got the evidence there.
That's it. I mean, you don't know. North Hobart will probably say that they won't do anything, but from reading and hearing a few things around the traps, I know they were definitely looking forward to sort of meeting him again, and you hope that you don't go into that retribution stage where you want to get the payback, but you know, once the ball's bounced, anything can happen, but hopefully it's all played in good, clean fun.
Well, Adam, thanks for your thoughts today, and remember, for all your TSL stories, pick up your copy of the Mercury or go to the Mercury online.